Selati Hardware opened her doors in 1963 as a hardware store in the northern town of South Africa called Phalaborwa. From there, and 3 family generations later, it has grown into a highly successful business specializing in the timber construction industry with 2 major divisions. Selati de Hoek Sawmill, which manufactures and supplies SABS South African pine timber to the construction market, and Selati Roof Trusses, which manufactures and supplies timber roof trusses as well as the supply of all associated roofing materials to the building industry. Selati Roof Trusses has offices in 3 different provinces, namely Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and Gauteng North. The whole timber process and the core of our business starts in the picturesque mountains of the Tzaneen and Magubus Kloof. Here we harvest South African pine trees that had been well looked after and well managed for 18 to 25 years. As sad as it is to witness the harvesting of 25-year-old trees, it is truly one of our few 100% renewable products on the market, and is thus the reason we have implemented our green harvesting method. Once the tree is on the ground, log cleaning takes place to determine the best possible length to be cut. These logs are transported from the various plantations to our De Hoek Sawmill's log yard. Our policy of maximum timber recovery is at the core of our entire process, and this starts in the yard, where the logs from the plantations are sorted into different sizes and lengths for the maximum saw recovery and ease of production. De Hoek has 2 sawing lines to accommodate both the small logs 90 to 300 millimeters diameter and the larger logs diameter larger than 300 millimeters, where both lines work on the same principle and sawing methods. Logs up to 600 millimeters in diameter can be cut with relative ease at around 6 meters per minute. One can only stand in awe along with a touch of fear when watching a 600 millimeter log being cut into more than 11 timber boards. To ensure maximum timber recovery whilst ensuring the safety of our staff at all times, we have upgraded the old sawmilling methods to make use of the latest industry best practices and machinery. The timber boards are prepared and stacked on trolleys according to their relative lengths and thicknesses, where they'll be kiln dried until the correct specified SABS moisture content is reached. Here at the Hoek, we generate steam to produce the energy necessary to dry our timber in the specialized timber drying kilns. All waste timber, which consists of sawdust, cut to length offcuts, not offcuts, and any other form of timber which is not sellable, is transferred through our waste transport network to one location named the fuel bin. From here, we fire up a boiler system which we keep at 6 kilopascal at all times, which then produces the steam necessary to dry the timber. Wet timber goes into the kiln at about 900 kilograms per cubic meter, and after about 36 to 48 hours, depending on the size of timber, it has lost almost half its weight and comes out at around 450 kilograms per cubic meter. After the boards have cooled down sufficiently, they are moved to the D-stacker, where they are offloaded line by line into an industrial planer, where they are planed to the required 38 mm or 50 mm thickness. The boards are then sent off to the automatic rip saw, where laser technology is used to determine the best cutting method, thus ensuring maximum board utilization and minimum wastage. At this point, the boards have been planed and cut to the various sizes, and all that remains is to cut each board to the longest possible stock length according to the SABS specifications. The boards are cut to length from 900 mm to 6,600 mm, generally in 300 mm increments. After all the cuts had been made, the timber is visually and/or stress graded and stamped to SABS specifications. then bundled and strapped by size and length, and finally the timber is safely transported to the proud new owner. Selati sells and distributes timber all over southern Africa. To further increase the recovery of the timber, all the short offcuts of the various timber sizes are sent to the laminated board production line. Here, laminated boards are manufactured by gluing various short offcuts together according to the applicable specification. The boards are then sold off into the non-construction timber market. This, in a nutshell, is an overview of the Hoek Sawmill's SABS construction timber production process.